Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and I'm in my 1.1 test world demoing a new update to logistics pipes. Currently on version 0.2.0. It's a new alpha and Kraft has given us a lot of cool stuff to start playing with here. He's really starting to make these pipes a little ridiculous in terms of how awesome they are. There's just so many cool things you can do, and I've spent a few minutes setting up some test systems here just to kind of hopefully walk through how things work. So let's play around for a minute and check out the new additions and the really cool things Kraft has ready for us. Alright, let's go into some of the basic changes that he's made so far. First off, he did a massive rewrite for the most part of a lot of options in his mod. So for the most part, some of the code behind the scenes has changed, hopefully for some more efficiency and less bugs. So that's awesome, even though I never encountered any bugs, but he assured me there are certain things you could do that could cause items to be weird. So whatever that was, he fixed it. Also, if you're using the 3.x branch of Buildcraft, he added an alternate recipe for the basic logistics pipes. You still have your gold gear options here, but now you also have a redstone golden chipset that you can use to craft your basic logistics pipes. So if you want to go that route, go for it. It's up to you if you want to use the golden gear or the golden redstone chipset thingy. So that's pretty cool. Logistics pipes will also no longer instantly drop items if they don't know where to send them to. So sometimes if your world was loading and items were in the middle of transit, it might have dropped them on the ground. That shouldn't happen anymore. And there's also a resend functionality, so it tries for a few seconds to resend, and then eventually it'll be dropped if it still can't figure out what to do with it. Also, there was a bug in the prior version where if you had an item in your pipe and you broke it, sometimes you might crash. That's been fixed. And for the most part, that's pretty much it. The requester pipe has changed. And if we check that out, the requester pipe should be in here somewhere. There it is, Requester Logistics Pipe. You can see now requires some gold gears or redstone golden chipsets in order to make your requester pipe. And if you recall in the older version of logistics pipes, requester pipes would be used to click on the pipe with an item and it requests those items out of the pipe. That no longer happens. Now you can hit the pipe with a wrench, and you'll note that it's got this neat little interface here that you guys should be familiar with. So you can now have the interface on the requester pipe directly, and it has some cool features. Why don't I go into them now? Alright, so I've basically set up a chest here with some items in it. You can see it's a bunch of items I happen to have on my person. And if I open up this interface here, this is a provider pipe that you're used to. Notice there's some changes here. First of all, the items to provide has always been here, but it's something I haven't probably used too often, so you guys might not know about it. But you can tell it what items this provider pipe is allowed to provide, or what items it's not allowed to provide. That's functionality that was normal from before. However, now we've got this mode normal inventory, and if we switch this, you can see there's an option for leave first stack, or you can change it to leave last stack, leave first and last stack, leave one item per stack, and normal. Interesting. So basically what this means is there's some new pipes that are going to take advantage of this functionality, but for now keep in mind that you can tell it to leave one item per stack, or to always leave the first stack or the last. So pretty interesting, but for now we're going to leave it at mode normal and get ready to do this. Let's make it nice and bright and daytime out. There we go, high noon. Note that I also have a crafting table here that turns wooden planks into sticks. Pretty simple and straightforward. My crafting pipe knows about it, and I've got some wood in here. So let's use our wrench here to open up the provider pipe. So the interface here, if we right click on it, first off you can see it's a little bit different. We've got our wood and our sticks, and we can request a number of sticks like normal, and it's going to send the wood in there and pull the sticks out, just like you would have expected them to. You might have also noticed the pipes transmit items a little bit quicker. Another option here is this button down here that says both. At the moment it's showing you both types of things that this request system can do. What do I mean by that? Well, if we click it, we'll see what it is. You can change it to only show things that this thing can craft, which of course is the sticks. It's hooked up to this automatic crafting table. Or you can click it to just show things you can supply. Notice that the sticks are not listed here. Or you can switch it again to both, which shows you both items that are supplied and are crafted. So you can kind of narrow down what you're looking for a little bit easier if you know that it's something that gets crafted or supplied. Pretty darn cool. You can also hit this stats button right here, and whatever you have clicked on in your inventory, it's going to keep track of in your entire logistics network. So if you look at this, I just put wood in here a moment ago, and that's what's currently selected. And if I hit stats, you can see for a long time, back to 20 minutes ago, I had no wood in my chest. And then just a few minutes ago, I put 64 or 62 in there. Yeah, 62. And then about a minute ago, when I requested those sticks, it dipped down. So let's go ahead and request, I don't know, like 20 sticks or something silly like that. How about 32? That sounds good. So it's going to pull a bunch of wood out, throw some sticks out at me. And now if I check my stats on sticks, that doesn't change, but I need to check my stats on wooden planks, and we'll give it about a minute for it to update, because it's got about a 1 minute check every now and then to see what it's got. I'll be back in a moment once I'm ready to show it. Alright, so you can look here and see that the number of wooden planks across the entire logistics network has dropped in the last minute, from 60-ish to like 34 or something like that. 44, that's about right. So that's the neat little stats thing. You can keep track of the items that are in your network. So you can see torches has been pretty steady here. Glass fiber I haven't changed at all. So it's pretty much telling you how many items you've had in your entire network over the period of 20 minutes or so. And that's not saved when you exit the game. It's only kind of for your current session. So that is just the changes to the existing pipes. Now let's move on to these new pipes, which are really cool. They are Chassis pipes. I'm going to go through them all right now, hopefully, and give you guys a little understanding of how they work and how awesome they are. Alright, so we've got a bunch of Chassis pipes. What are they? Chassis pipes, as you can see here, Logistics Chassis Mark 1. Is pretty much made with a basic logistics pipe and redstone, or a basic logistics pipe and redstone chipsets, and that gets you your logistics chassis Mark 1. And if we place down the logistics chassis Mark 1 on the ground here, I'll just place it wherever, and connect some pipes to it, you can see it's got this orange interface here, and if I place down a chest on, let's say, this side, the orange line is what's connected to the inventory, and a chassis pipe must be connected to an inventory. You want to shift right click with your wrench to change that. So see how that's changing when you shift right click. Let go of shift and right click, and you've got this little interface for this card slot. That's where you input your modules, and there's currently 5 modules, and one more is a blank one. We can check out how to craft a module here. It's just a gold nugget, some paper, and redstone. So think of this as a blank card that doesn't do anything. And you want to upgrade that blank card to do some cool stuff. Let's go through each one and see how they work. First off, we can look at the item sync module. Crafted like so. You can use an iron gear or iron chipset, your call. Redstone and some cactus greens. And that'll get you the item sync module. And I've gone over into this one here and placed an item sync module. If you hit the little exclamation point next to the item sync module, you'll see it's a pretty similar system to a basic logistics pipe. It has a default route, which I've set to yes on this guy, and the list of requested items that are available to go into this module. Pretty cool. So what I've done there basically is set this up to be just like a basic logistics pipe with a default route of yes. And you might be saying to yourself, well, Direwolf, why wouldn't I just use a basic logistics pipe? Don't worry, I'm getting there. Settle down. Craft is a genius. He's not going to give us something that's worthless. So I'm going to go open up this guy, and we can see that it's also got an item sync module. Same recipe, of course, because it's the same item, and I told it that Aeternalis fuel should go into the requested item slot here. And this is not a default route. So any Aeternalis fuel that enters this route should go in here. Cool. Alright, next up, we've got what's called a chest item sync module. Okay, this guy crafted like so with some orange dye, redstone again, and the iron gear or iron chipset. This guy, if you click on the exclamation point, doesn't have an interface. This thing is really cool. It's basically a requested items list, but it looks at whatever is currently in the inventory next to it and pulls in all that stuff. So pretty much, because there's a torch and a glass fiber cable inside this chest, this pipe is now the default logistics route for torches and glass fiber cables, without the need to configure it. So you could put 30 different items in this chest, and any of those items entering the logistics network will finally route their way to this chest item sync module. Perfect. Very cool. Okay. And each of these, the chest item sync module and the regular item sync module have a priority of 1 on the network, okay? And that's the lowest priority. So pretty much anything entering here that is a Eternalist fuel will head down into this chest. And anything in this guy, the glass fiber or torch, will head into this chest. Next up, we've got the passive supplier module, okay? What this guy does is he passively requests items. He's not going to pull them out like a supplier pipe will. Any redstone entering this system will head its way down to this chest. And it's got a priority 2, which is higher than these guys. So why don't I open up this thing here, item sync module, and tell it that redstone is a requested item, okay? Basically what this means is any redstone entering here will go down, it'll pass over this because this is only priority 1 with redstone in it, and this is priority 2 with redstone in it. But you'll notice there's a stack here. What this is going to do is it's going to put 64 pieces of redstone in this chest, and any other redstone will wind up down here. So once this 64 is matched as a passive supplier, it's going to say, alright, I got the 64 that you told me to hold on to, Direwolf. Go ahead and send the rest back down here into the item sync module with 1 redstone piece. So the item sync module will start filling up after the passive supplier has been supplied. So if you say keep 64 in this chest and everything else goes over here, that's what I've done. Next up, we've got the extractor module. This guy is pretty cool. This is basically an extractor similar to this system right here, a redstone engine under a wooden pipe. It pulls out 1 item every 5 seconds, just 1 item, not 1 stack, mind you. And it's only going to pull items out of here if the items have somewhere to go, meaning if they have a default route. So this thing does have a default route, so it'll pull an item out every 5 seconds. That's what the extractor module does. Okay, and then finally we have this quick sort module, which is pretty neat. What that's going to do is it's going to pull out every 5 seconds all item stacks with a size greater than 26. So if you put a stack of 64 cobblestone, for example, it'll pull out that stack. And every 5 seconds it'll pull out the next stack and the next stack. Only items that have a specific destination are pulled. Default routes do not count. So for example, I've got a specific destination here for torches and glass fiber, and I've also got it for redstone. Okay, but the default route items will not be pulled out. And this is really meant to be a sorting input chest. So you know in my Let's Plays, when I do all my sorting and I dump items into a chest, that's what this module is pretty much designed around. So thank you, Craft, for that. I love it. So let's check out all these pipes in action to hopefully give you guys a better understanding of how they work. And real quick, I'll show you the crafting. The chest item sync you saw. The passive supplier here is rose red dye. Lapis lazuli here for the extractor module, and that quicksort module is a pretty expensive one. It requires a diamond gear or a diamond chipset, a little bit more expensive, but that's because it pulls out stacks at a time, and it's pretty darn cool. So let's go ahead and start this up. First off, I haven't told my system anything about cobble. So if I put a piece of cobblestone in here, it should get pulled out and sent directly into my default chest. Let's see what happens. Yep. It doesn't know where to go, so it's going to go down the default route and land right in here. Ta-da! There it is. Cobblestone landed right there. Perfectly, exactly how we would have expected it. And we can also use, like I said, the extractor module here. We'll pull items out. So let's put 3 cobblestone in there. Okay. Every 5 seconds, it should pull an item out and zip it down to the default route. As you can see, the next 5-second tick, boom, next item goes through. 1 at a time, remember. So there's your extractor module. Okay, and because the extractor module is fine with the default route, all my cobblestone landed down here. Perfect. Now let's look at some redstone. Okay, I told this thing right here, the passive supplier, to keep 64 redstone in the chest. So let's put some redstone in here and see what happens. The logistics pipe there should grab a hold of it. And let's see where it goes. Where did it go? Ah, there it went. Ta-da! Passive supplier module doing what it's meant to. So I just placed 2 more redstone in my chest here, and they should also zip down to the one that has the passive supplier module. Let's see what happens once they hit that chasis pipe. There it goes, right into the passive module. All right, so let's get this guy up to, I don't know, we'll get him up to 63 and see what happens now if I get myself a new stack of redstone. Okay, I'm going to put, I don't know, 3 in there. And we'll see what they go to. What would you guys expect to happen? Well, what I expect to happen is the passive supplier, which is told to keep 64 in there, will request 1, keep this guy at 64, and then the rest should go down here to this one. 1 goes to 64, and then they bounce back over here because the passive supplier says, nope, I've got the 64 I want, keep that as it is, and the rest of the 3 redstone go here, which is the default route for redstone and Aeternalis fuel. And if we put the Aeternalis fuel in our extractor chest, of course, as you would expect, it extracts it and sends it to the Aeternalis fuel step. Perfect. So let's go ahead and test the chest item sync with some glass fiber cables and some torches. Okay, these things should start zipping down here slowly. And I believe it's a bug that they're not speeding up as soon as they hit the logistics pipe. I've already reported it to Craft, and I think he's probably already cracking on it. And this is the passive supplier. Note that they're going straight into this little chest right here. I told this chest as a as a chest item sync module with no interface that all torches and glass fibers go down here. Awesome. And of course, if I wanted to, I could do something even more fancy. I could just put a piece of sand in here, okay? So let's see what happens first if I got a piece of sand entered into my chest here. And I'll even put it in the extractor pipe to do the same demonstration. Okay, chest should be extracted out and sent down to this chest. Okay, we put a piece of sand in here now and enter our sand in our extractor pipe. Note that the sand is immediately routed to the chest item sync module. Perfect, exactly what we would have expected to see, and it's working great. Finally, I'll put some redstone and Aeternalis fuel here into this end module. This is your auto sort module. It quickly sends all the items down the line here. So you can see the redstone and Aeternalis fuel landed down here. But if I put cobblestone in, remember there's no pipe in my entire cobble network, or in my entire logistics pipe network, that knows about cobble. So it's not going to pull it out. Default routes do not work. But if I put glass fiber cable in there, it should pull out the whole stack of 60 and send it directly into here. So that, finally, is your quicksort module. Now I promised you guys that there was a reason for the fact that this little item sync module exists, didn't I? That's because Craft has given us an awesome set of items. We have the, as you saw, Logistics Chassis Mark 1. We've also got the Logistics Chassis Mark 2, a basic pipe with iron all around it, or 3 redstone iron chipsets. Let's go ahead and grab this guy and swap out. So if I break this thingy off here and place it back down and open up the interface, you can see there's 2 modules. Oh. So I can have both an extractor module and a passive supplier module, or a chest item sync module with an item sync module. So I can say kind of anything I want here. There's a great number of combinations available. It's almost endless, to be honest with you. The different combinations you can make. So you can set up 2 item sync modules here and say this one requests a bunch of items and this one requests a bunch of items, and you can pretty much have, an unlimited number of combinations. We've also got the Logistics Chassis Mark 3. What do you think this guy does if we put him down here? He's got 3 module slots and he's crafted with gold. And of course, a diamond. 4 item slot modules crafted with, you guessed it, diamonds, or diamond chipsets. You can have all kinds of different modules in here doing all kinds of different things, and they're really pretty awesome for mixing and matching how they work. The combinations, like I said, are nearly endless. Also, at the beginning of the episode, I mentioned this provider pipe down here, didn't I? There's an option for leave 1 item per stack. This is perfect to use in conjunction with your chest item sync module. So if I wanted to put a provider pipe on the guy that has the chest item sync, right? This one here, so redstone, right? It'll pull out up to 63 redstone from this chest and leave 1 available in there, as long as I put the provider pipe on. Where's that guy? Somewhere in here. Hey, there he was, hiding. And I say, leave 1 item per stack. So let's give that a try. So I just have a chest here with 64 items, right? If I open up my requester pipe, you can see only 63 are available to me. Request. It'll pull out all 63 that I asked for, but it won't let you pull the last one out. Pretty darn cool. So this way, if you're using one of those chest supply modules, chest item sync, it'll know to keep one redstone in there at all times. That way you never use up the last item in your chest. And then of course I could go throw these 63 into my quick sort chest, and it'll quickly sort the 63 into the chest item sync. Pretty cool. And because chest item syncs have a priority 2, remember, it'll always fill up chest item syncs before default routes or basic pipes. So that's pretty much it. The combinations, like I said, are nearly limitless. These chassis pipes are really cool. The chest item sync is my personal favorite. I think that's just brilliant and genius on his part. So this is Direwolf20 signing off on the Logistics Pipes 0.2.0 alpha. Just remember it is an alpha release, so if you're downloading it to play with it, help test out, report bugs, and give Craft a hand, let him know what kind of problems you might run into. But it's been in testing for a little bit now, and I'm going to start using it in my Let's Play series. Hopefully it doesn't break anything. So Direwolf20 signing off, guys. Take it easy.